All right, now let's get into Mexican cooking. Now, Mexican cooking is addicting, and Mexican food is so good it's not even funny. So it's a combination between Spanish and European and indigenous ways of cooking. And the indigenous influences in Mexican food make it addicting. Just like fried chicken is a very addicting fusion recipe where you had the soul food seasoning from African influences and the European fried chicken that was brought to America, and then you'd use American herbs, and it was a complete fusion dish where you had the best of both worlds. And so Chinese food like General Tso has had this quality too, where you take Chinese influences and then American styles of cooking, focusing on the meat and the syrupy sauce and the sweetness. And so you take the Chinese ingredients, but then you get saltier versions and focus more on the syrupy aspects, and you make your General Tso. And General Tso isn't really Chinese, and most of it tends to taste as a failure. And it's like so much dough and no chicken in it. And so that's one of the things with General Tso that, I would much rather go to a takeout place and buy their sauce and then cook it myself and, add some chili to it and really boost it up. But, Mexican food's kind of like that on steroids because Mexican food has all these great ingredients without MSG. I know they use lard in the beans, probably, but Mexican food is one of those kinds of food that is amazing to eat. Like, it has amazing cooking. They just know how to do everything just right. And the Mexican way of cooking tends to focus on flavor. And they love spice in food, which makes Mexican food so good because they use all kinds of animalic ingredients and all kinds of other sauces combined in order to make Mexican food. Because you'll have your pomo sauce, and then they try to make some other sauces like velouté and hollandaise sometimes, when they basically make like the chip dip. And so the mother sauces are the things that they incorporate into every dish. With Mexican food, it's a combination because you have certain things that have mother sauces, and then Mexican food, it's a combination because you have your hollandaise style sour cream with your pomodoro based salsa. And then you get it all spiced up. So it's a spicy salsa with jalapenos and all kinds of stuff and your fresh vegetables and fruits and everything. And the Mexican food has a lot of fresh fruits like mangoes and stuff like that. So it can be really, really good. And they have seafood in their dishes too. And the Mexican food with the cumin and the chilies and the garlic and the onion gives a good savory and umami and salty flavor at the same time. But often the salt content is high. And the oil they use to cook the rice in there is like fried rice. So basically it gives that kind of flavor to it because you cook the oil and spices and cook the spices into the oil, and then you use the oil to fry the rice to break down the starch, so it gives this kind of really sweet flavor to it. And that's the thing that Mexican food does well because the browning with the spices and all that give food this kind of quality.